we're going to be looking at caregiving. Yes, caregiving. Caregiving is providing care for the physical and emotional needs of a family member or a friend at home. It may involve personal care, helping with medical procedures and therapy, and much more. Caregiving is a job, a full-time, hands-on job with its myriad challenges that can take a toll on one mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, not to mention financially. That is why we have a saying that the person looking after a sick person is also ailing. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Up You with Ezine on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We'd love to connect with you long after this program has ended to keep the conversation going. Hello, fam. I see you guys week in, week out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so who is ready for this episode? From pain to purpose. There are times in life when everything just feels so overwhelming, as if someone just set you up for bad things to happen to you. Yet, it is through our trials and pain that our gifts emerge. And it is by overcoming temptation and troubles that we are made stronger and more valuable to our families, communities, society, and world at large. At some point, we all will inevitably have to confront our past or pain, deal with it, learn from it, and allow it to reveal our gifts and essence to the world and to ourselves. You can transform your pain into purpose, and that is the focus of our discussion today. Please keep it locked on Up You with Ezine. Let's learn together and begin to turn our pains to purpose. Our guest today is Bridget Oyefeso Odusanmi. Bridget is currently the head of brand and marketing for Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC. She's a multifaceted marketing professional with more than 24 years of global experience in brand strategy, sponsorships, digital marketing, data analytics, public relations, and all communications elements. She has a proven track record in running internal and external corporate communications and products integrated marketing campaigns, IMC, across various countries and sectors, including aviation, financial services, and non-governmental organizations. She is the author of This Week Devotional, a weekly devotional broadcasted across social media platforms. Most recently, on her 5 decades on Earth, she published her first memoir titled Built for the Storm, Journeying Through Life's Wounds, Healing, and Scars. Bridget is married to Adewale, and together they have 2 adult sons. Dear listeners, please join me in welcoming our very, very beautiful and accomplished guest this evening on the show. Hello, Bridget. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone listening in from wherever you're listening in from. Sending you greetings. Thank you for joining the conversation this evening. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. We're so happy that you're here. I trust that your family is doing good?
Yes. Yeah, thank you for asking. Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, kiddo, let's go on. Let's set the stage for our conversation today. All right? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Could you please tell us your perspective and your understanding of the topic from pain to purpose?
Thank you for having me once again. And, if I just go right into responding to your question, my understanding of the topic, the only way I can really describe it or summarize it is to say that for purpose to be birthed, there has to be some pain. And I have many analogies to describe that, starting with children being born. It's not the most pleasant of experiences, but the moment that child is born, which I would, I liken to purpose, because that child has been put on earth here for purpose. The mother forgets every pain she has been through, the 9-month journey, and just even the process of giving birth. If I think about, children, same babies growing up and teething, for them to begin to eat strong meat, moving away from milk to strong meat. They go through pain. The teeth begin to, the gums rather, begin to itch, pain. You can find that they never want to let go, always want to put something around there. But the moment the teeth comes up, you see they're struggling with chicken, meat, and all sorts of things. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say with this analogy that can be relatable is that for couples to be birth in all of its entirety, you must understand that there needs to be some pain. It might not be the most pleasant, but as long as you endure, you would definitely come through stronger, understanding the reason why you went through that pain, because God chose you to go through it for a reason that He knows He will definitely accomplish here on earth for His greater glory. I hope that sort of brings it to life. That's my understanding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that analogy you used. The process of bringing forth life. A very painful process, but at the end of it all, we get to hear the cry of a baby. And truly, the mother forgets and goes again and again and again. And there was something you said that was really, really significant. You said, for purpose to be manifested in its entirety, there has to be pain. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Today, we'll be focusing on your journey from when the storm hit your well-planned life up on now. Tell us, what was life like for you before the storm? Your dreams, your aspirations?
Sorry, I have to laugh because when I tell this story, I always remind myself or remind everyone listening to me that I was a spoiled wife. My husband did everything. Life was easy. You want to, get up, go on, do everything you want. Without actually thinking twice about a lot of things. Life was really easy. Life was easy before the storm. Going through life happy, not stressed, easy going. I don't. That's the way I can really describe it. But one thing that I must also say is that oftentimes you get a nudge in our spirit to do certain things. It is really God trying to get you equipped because He sees ahead. If you remember, the Bible says that He's Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. He knows all things. Meanwhile, we are here. If we're not really connected in the spirit realm, we might not really understand things that are coming. So I know that in the process of the busy life, things just going the way we used to go. My husband traveling every 4 to 6 weeks out of the country to see his various contractors or suppliers for his business because he's an entrepreneur. Me, career lady, going to work every day, drop the kids at school, on the way to school, chat, laugh, move on, head to work, get home, go back home late, 11 p.m., 12 p.m. sometimes, because it depends on if I have an event. But oftentimes I had a strong nudge to read the Bible. And it was, having been a Christian for, I think a number of years, upwards of almost 3 decades, I didn't understand those nudgings. I didn't understand it. It was when the storm hit and I could sort of stand still and not really get drowned in the storm, right? Mm-hmm. Is when I now understood, because a lot of the things that the nudging of hope led me to read at the time were all the things that I could stay in my mind to keep me stable. These are the confessions I was making to keep me stay and sane. Those are the confessions I was making to just have peace in my mind. So that's why I put that balance. Life might be going easy for you, crazy, right? But when you get the nudge to just pause a little bit, to fellowship with God, read, or even fellowship with other people, right? Take all the learnings you need to take and equip yourself, because there will always be rainy days. But how well prepared and equipped are you when the rain comes, when the storm hits? Because if you're not, and that's why we find most people sort of giving up, or drowning under the weight of what has hit. So I know that not by my strength, but just a better understanding of this thing, because it is starting foretold. We have been told that it will come. There are seasons of life. It's very exactly. There are seasons. There are reasons for those seasons. So it's also to understand the reason when you are even going through it, because there are lessons to come out of it all. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, let me quickly open the phone lines and then I'll come back to you. The number to call is 07000 917 917. The number to text is 0703 1756 537. Today we're speaking with Bridget, Oyefeso, Odusanmi, and we're speaking on From Pain to Purpose. Bridget has just recounted for us the kind of life she had, which is everyone's dream, idyllic, everything going smoothly. But somehow something happened, Bridget, and a storm hit you. Can you recount, where were you when you received the news that your husband had suffered a stroke, and what were your immediate reactions?
Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't told like that. So that's what I needed to say.
Okay.
God gives people wisdom. So my husband had gone on a trip, which he normally goes for anyway. And we had spoken to him the other day. One of my sons, I remember, had a test for a school. He was supposed to move from one school to the other. So on our way back from that, I wasn't feeling well that day, so I didn't go to work. And so I took my son for the test, and on the way back, picked up his brother, and we called daddy and said, oh, this is how the test went, everything went okay. And so he said, okay, I'll speak to you at night, right? Because he was obviously on the move at the time, this afternoon, after school, here in Lagos. He was abroad. And he said, oh, I'll speak to you at night when I'm back from all my meetings. And we said, okay, chat later. And I took some medications, I slept off, and I didn't remember. And I got a call. I remember getting a call at 8 p.m. on that fateful day in July. And the call was from my husband's business partner. They traveled together. Of course, that wasn't the thing to hear. And I said, he was up. Why are you calling me? Where's Wally? And he was on the line. And the next voice I heard was my sister-in-law, my husband's sister. When he's in the UK, he stays with them, goes for meetings in different European countries, and just has that her house as his base, and then before he gets back. So I was wondering. I looked at the date again. I said, well, so they asked me a question: can you come to London tonight? I looked at the phone. I looked at the date. I looked at the time. I'm like, what's happening in London? I said, to my mind, today is my anniversary. Neither is tomorrow an anniversary. Yes, my second son's birthday is 19th of July. If you're telling me to come to London, are you saying I should come with you? What exactly is happening in London? Why do I have to fly tonight? I remember this is 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Most airlines that are flying out are already going out. And I'm wondering how. Then they said, look, something has happened to your husband. We don't know what it is yet, but he's in ICU. The doctors are asking for the next of kin to be present before they can take the next action. And I'm like, okay, look, if he's dead, tell me he's dead. I don't understand this. Next of kin, come, I have to come tonight. Unfortunately, everyone has, sort of wrapped up for the day. I said, I don't know about coming to London tonight, but they should please not hide anything. They should tell me. They said, no, that to be honest, he's not dead. They just need me to be there. They need to do a quick surgery, but they need me to be present and to sign some documents. So that was how I received the news, to be honest. And the next thing was, when they dropped the phone, I started calling my brothers, my sister, my half-breed brothers and his sister. So I called everyone. Look, I have to go to London. They just called me concerning my husband, and we check all travel agents. Couldn't get a flight. Then by the time I was calling my boss to tell my boss that I'm sorry, I had to go to London, most likely tomorrow morning or the next morning on Virgin. I can't be at work. I don't know what the situation is. I'll update when I get there. And she says to me, "But Bridget, why do you have to wait till tomorrow? You and I used to work in British Airways. We worked in British Airways for over 10 years. She said, let's call the airport. Let's see if you can just pack a bag, head to the airport. I'm sure they can get you on that flight." And that's how I left that night. So my boss called. She used to be my boss at British Airways and was my current boss in the first financial services company I worked for. So that's how she sorted out the tickets that night. And that's how I ended up in London the next morning and found my husband in ICU, couldn't recognize anybody. So obviously the hospital wanted to, they said they could see that his arteries were swollen in his brain and they wanted to have a quick surgery to clip it, because if he burst in there, they won't be able to touch him. So that's why they needed next of kin to be present,
to give consent,
and all of that. And again, it was all very negative. And I asked questions. What's the implication? What had happened? And they told me he just had a stroke. But I said, well, he's never been sick. Never been sick. I don't go to hospital. He has just cough or cold. He's never been admitted in hospital well after school. I know we were dating from school, so the only major illness he had in school was maybe like typhoid, right? In the hospital. He's never been in hospital after then. So, surprising to me, played golf religiously almost every day, sometimes twice a week. Twice a day. He could play in the morning, play in the evening.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't understand what was happening because he wasn't someone that was sickly. No signs at all. So they said, well, it happened like that, but what it is a stroke. But we could get, whatever. They didn't do the surgery. Okay, ask questions. What will happen? Look, if you don't do this is it. If you don't do this, and there were no options, because if they did the surgery, he could leave. If they didn't do the surgery, he could leave a job, but it would be a vegetable on all fronts. So really, the only chance they gave him was a 1% chance of survival. Either way, either he passes on or he leaves, but he'll be a vegetable for life. That was what we were told. So we had the option but to take on the immediate solution, which was, okay, let them open his brain up and clip the artery so that it doesn't burst. And that's the journey, and that's how the journey began. So that journey I took another about 3 to 4 weeks before he could recognize anyone. So thankfully he came out of ICU. Then they started therapy. He would just be staring at people. He didn't know who anybody was. So the therapist would come every day to just say, if you know this is enough, squeeze my hand. If you know this is the doctor, if you know this is your mom, because his mom was also, if you know this is your wife, if you know this is your business partner. But it took, I think when I then decided to come home and just check on the children and then put things in place and get ready for the journey ahead, it took about 3 to 4 weeks, because the first day he squeezed my hand when he recognized this is my wife, and he squeezed my hand. I said, then I can go home, and I know he's alive, and it can only get better. Thank you.
My dear sister, I salute you. At this point, I need to say this. I salute you for strength, for courage. I can only imagine someone you spoke to in the morning, and by night, one phone call changes everything. Everything. And then you abandoned the children you left in Lagos. Were how old at the time?
10 and 9. So
and you left at 9 and 10 with a gosh.
10 and 9 at the time.
Sometimes it takes a breakdown to have a major breakthrough, because I can't even imagine what you're describing. So that means you've been on this journey now for how many years now?
This is 11 years. This July was 11 years. Wally had a stroke.
So you have been on this journey. Your boys must be 20 and 21 years now. You have for the past 11 years been raising 2 sons, keeping your job in corporate Nigeria and nursing your husband back to health. How did you cope? How are you even coping? Because sickness of this magnitude, what you're describing, it's huge. It takes its toll on one mentally, physically. And I know from experience that the money runs into hundreds of millions. How are you doing it?
Yeah. Okay. The truth is, let me start by saying, first of all, my job, I had to ensure I didn't have access to any of my husband's finances. So that's a major thing. So the priority for me, and they have said they don't know how long the journey will be from the hospital. They didn't know how long. They couldn't tell me, but they said I should prepare for a long journey. A long journey that doesn't seem to have a timing, obviously, is uncertain, right?
Yes.
So my first priority was to go to my medical director to ask, what can I do about my job? And I just started that job. So I couldn't be saying, some of the alternatives were, take a long break. I said no, I wasn't confirmed on the job, so I wasn't willing to do that. I was willing to juggle it until I could get my confirmation, so that I have a steady source of income. Second priority was how to ensure that the boys kept on living their lives without disruption. Let me handle the disruption. And there are a lot of support systems. So I'll talk about relationships as well. Having good relationships with your immediate family members, friends who can step in and sort of handle your home in your absence. People like my sister saying, just don't worry, food, the boys and everything is sorted out, mom is there, friends stepping in and saying, are them going to church? I will go pick them to church. Sundays, they'll hang out with my family, and then we'll drop them back at home ready for school on Monday. So I had all of that just some capacity. So from work, I then negotiated, can I work remotely 2 weeks in a month? So that 2 weeks I'm in the office and I can see the children. 2 weeks I'm in the UK and I can stay by Wally's bedside through all the therapies and all of that. So my bed was literally a couch, a 2-seater couch beside his bed for 2 weeks when I'm in the UK. And then 2 weeks when I'm at home, doing as much as I can do with the children, taking them out to, and they were asking loads of questions. Why can't we talk to daddy? Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? I thought because daddy has had a major fall, we don't want him talking, but I'm guaranteeing you that he's fine. But of course, at some point, the hospital has to ask me to get the children to London because there are phases of the therapy and treatment that he needed certain triggers. He needed to see things
that he was familiar with.
Him to push to leave and stuff like that. So at some point, when they were on summer holiday, and I had to take them to see, and that was when they actually then knew what was happening to their dad. So in terms of how I coped, to be honest, there are 2 things I tell people. When something happens to you, the options you have. I don't know that any other option. Despite that, you will stand on top of that thing, or you allow that thing to end you. So my choice was to stand at the top. And then all of this support system, coping mechanism, my coping mechanisms evolved as an individual. My mechanisms evolved over the years. I didn't start off with where I am today because, of course, you are going through the journey. Okay, you'll soon get better. You'll soon get better. Yeah, it's getting better, but the areas where you really need things to get better, right? Where you need your husband to use his right hand again because he's right-handed, he can't use the hand till today. You need him to be able to step in and make decisions as the husband, as the man of the house. But his speech is not as fluent as it should be. So those are the things. But of course, people who don't see him every day call me and just encourage me that, oh my God, I saw some of them even cry. That I could talk to him, I could understand everything he's saying. I wasn't seeing these little miracles. I was putting my eye on the bigger miracles. So my coping mechanism evolved because at some point I got frustrated and I had to start taking care of myself. I've spent the last, I think it was after the last 5 years, or the first 5 years, I said I threw myself into the children. They can't scream, I will jump up. They can't, anything they want. I just forget my before. At some point, I then had to step in and say, okay, I will prioritize me. They've had enough of me, and I'm not having any of me anymore. I have to then put things in place to prioritize me and not negotiate some of the things I have to do for my own self and my own sanity, so that I could carry on taking care of everybody. So that is how I cope. And some of the coping mechanisms, include exercising, going to the spa, things that make me happy. I have to make time for those things. Up to today, I must do at least 30 minutes of exercise for myself, it's for my own self, and it helps me mentally. On the weekends, I do longer, 1 hour, 2 hours. The days I structure like a monthly, I need to be like every week going to the spa, but of course, that was eating into my finances, so I had to either do once a month or twice a month. Do you understand? So these are things that help me cope. Yeah, I find time for myself and have to leave the house oftentimes just so that it's my own space, I'm in control, because if I'm in the house, right, they're knocking on the door, somebody will be coughing, I will jump up, so I have to leave, and I'm like, they'll be fine for how long I'm away, right? They'll be fine. But by the time I come back, I feel energized. Even if I'm just going for a walk, I can then face anything that I see in the house. So even with work, it's the same thing. When I'm at work, even though I have to stay away from my phone because I was constant the first 3 years looking at my phone. They call me from the hospital, they call me from here, even the therapists that were coming home, even after they came home. But after a while, I put it away and I was making a lot of errors at work. I had to focus, right? And then whenever I come out of meetings, I would catch up on any missed calls and attend to the issues. So, in a nutshell, coping happens with every stage of that journey. The coping mechanisms that I applied on the first year is not valid now. So as you evolve and journey on, you have to keep looking for what works and how you as the caregiver remain sane. It's very important that you remain sane. Because I've seen people ask me all sorts of questions, break down, and say they can't do this anymore. And I'm like, you can't. If not, God may have brought it your way. Just that oftentimes we underestimate the capacity we have to cope with situations. We think it will kill us. But even up to yesterday, I told somebody that it always looks very difficult until you do it. Everything is possible. It all starts in your mind and putting yourself in the right frame of mind to tackle that issue. So that's how I would summarize it.
Thank you. The phone lines to call is 07000 917 917. The number to text is 07031 756 537. When you're describing Bridget, or when you're sharing with us, you make it look so easy. I'm listening to you and I'm saying, this woman doesn't know how graced she is, how strong she is. You know, I read your book, very powerful book. I read it in one sitting. I started it when I received it. I didn't drop it until I finished it. And then I started again, same day, this time with my pen, underlining things, you know, portions that resonate with me. And I kept wishing I read your book last year. I kept wishing I read this book in 2021 and not 2022. But I thank God that I read the book, and I know I read it when God wanted me to read it. So thank you for writing this book. I've already told our listeners and everybody who follows us on Instagram, on social media, that we're going to be giving away a couple of copies of your book. So I'm going to be contacting you after this to get a couple of copies that we will give away to our people. Many more people should read this book because it's a very powerful tool for the caregiver and also for the person who wishes to learn how to stay calm in the face of a storm. One thing you said is you made a choice.
Yeah.
You made a choice. That means that you were conscious. You were very, very intentional about the things that you were doing. And you're right. Even in the aeroplane, if it wants to crash, they will tell you, buckle in yourself first before you start taking care of, even if it's an infact baby. So, yes, it's good that you did not allow the storm to... Because sometimes when you're caregiving, before you know it, you get sucked in. You lose yourself.
Yeah.
You lose yourself and you're drowning, and then it becomes that from saving one person, it will now be two people that we're looking for, you know. So, well done. Yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah. So you're just a definition of turning your lemons into lemonade. Yeah? So, and you are now, I'm sure you are aware of where your true purpose lies. You know, so please, can you share with us what have you found out about yourself so far? What are your first things? What would you say is your life purpose? What are your first things? What are your most important things?
From an early age, though, I always knew that I was created differently. To be honest, I'm extra kind. I'm not mean. I'm always very helpful. And I stick with people who thick and thin. I don't have that many friends, but I know that those that are proven to be real friends, I stick with them. So to understand my purpose, I think it's still a journey, but I know that I'm here to sort of provide support to people who need healing.
Please hold it up. We have a call coming in. Good evening, up you with Ezine. Who is calling and where are you calling from? Good evening.
I'm Chuka. I'm calling from Ayobo.
Good evening, Chuka. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Madam Bridget, it's nice to listen to you. Thank you for the encouragement.
Thank you. Bridget, can you hear him?
Yes, I hope you are hearing me.
She wants you to raise your voice a bit.
Okay, I will. I just want to ask. I am 69. I want to find out the predisposing factors.
You want to find out what?
Whether they are predisposing factors.
Okay.
The husband has to go through.
Okay.
Or maybe things that cause, things that we are able to provoke the crisis.
Okay. Okay.
So that the listeners may even...
We'll be able to, watch out for them. Yeah, okay.
I don't know what would have caused an enlarged artery or an artery trying to rupture.
Okay.
At a particular age, one becomes worried.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Bridget.
Yeah.
He wants to know what the predisposing factors could have been, because he's a little advanced in age. He's over 50, and he wants to know what could have caused your husband to have a stroke. Did you find out? Do you know what? So that it will help listeners to be able to take care and avoid having such health challenges.
So the truth is, the hospital were the doctors and consultants were very perplexed. They did not know, because after they asked me loads of questions about his diet, his lifestyle, they still did not see why he should have had a stroke. So I think the only thing that they sort of could attribute to it is the fact that he doesn't talk much, and I think there's a path for just airing out your views, your frustrations, rather than bottling things up. But to be honest, medically, they couldn't find why. And I think it was that period, that year was when a lot of people had to go and start checking their blood pressure, because I know people still just sort of collapse these days, but it was very rampant 11 years ago. And a lot of people were now watching what they were eating, checking on their blood pressure. People started investing in, the machines at home, not just waiting until they get to hospital to check. So I think that there's a lot more education.
So it doesn't run in the family. There is no family history of it.
No family history of a stroke.
Okay.
He's the first person to have it, and at 41. He had it at 41.
Okay. So our dear caller, I hope you got that. There are no family history, and there is no predisposition, and he was quite young. He was 41, active. The only thing the doctors could say was maybe because he wasn't a very expressive person at the time. He bottled up a couple of things, so maybe that was what happened. We never will be able to know, but we're grateful that he's alive with us 11 years after. Okay, so Bridget, you were telling us your first things, your purpose.
Yes. So I think that my purpose really, I found it, I have more joy when I'm helpful to others, when I'm supportive of people. And I think that's the primary reason why people ask questions, or how could you have stuck with, your husband, who was very able and up and down, and now he's not able to do a lot of the things that he does. And I know that I think love, really, genuine love is faster than anything else. And I know that it's something that God has put into me to continue to sort of love the unlovable, help those who are helpless, and just being there to lend my voice, lend my ears, even when people want to pour in. So to summarize, that I think is why I'm here. I'm joyful and happy when I volunteer, when I help people that are not privileged. I prefer to spend my time with those sort of people. It gives me unending, and I can't even express the joy I feel when I support people by way of volunteering. So I know eventually I'll end up there, but that is what I think I was born to do, just to be there, here to help, to support, and give people hope in all situations.
Thank you. And I remember that after I spoke with you to come on the show, I did write you to say, or was it you I wrote, or was it Tara? I wrote to and say, she gave me hope. So you're right in your purpose, because I got off the phone and I was very, very hopeful that I am also on the right path. By the way, everyone, my husband also has had a stroke.
Wow.
So I'm actually a caregiver. Ours happened in 2020, and so we're just 2 years gone in it, and it can be challenging. It is challenging, but God is seeing us through. When we look up and see people like you, then we'll know that we did we made the right decision not to run away, because the stories abound about women who ran away, who abandoned a sick husband and ran away. But when we read of you, when we hear people like you, then we'll say, oh, okay, it can be done. And then we keep pushing to do it. And then nobody shares. That's why I wanted you on this program. Nobody shares about those who stayed and nursed the husbands back to health. 11 years is not moi, it's not beans. Honestly, I salute you again and again. God bless you indeed. Yeah? And you will continue to fulfill your purpose. So tell me, apart from the fact that Bridget means strength and the fact that you exercise and go to spa and everything, what other things do you do for yourself, to balance out your life? Because sometimes I know that my own head gets full and I need to distress. I've had to go and see the is this psychologist or something to distress my head. What do you do yourself? How do you, as you get my question?
Mm-hmm. Okay, something else I really love are pictures. I take pictures of everything and anything. I have loads of pictures. That's another thing that I spend my time doing. Just looking back at a lot of the memories I've created over the years. And they keep me happy. So that's another way I spend my time. I also love to hang out with my girlfriends. I'm in various girl groups. And most of the things, the one thing that really joins us together in most of these girl groups are either investment or my alumni. So secondary school alumni, university alumni, all girl groups and investment clubs that I've been part of in the last perhaps 20 years as well.
Good.
So I have an older girl in the investment club group. I have a younger one that I joined about 6-7 years ago, and I have another one that just contributed. So oftentimes, just spending time individually, those groups and traveling once a year on a girl trip are other things that I do to make myself happy. Besides what I've listed. So those things for me are very important and non-negotiable. And yes, I have to permission from my husband, for example, to hang out with the girls maybe after work or on the weekend, or travel once in a year like we do in some of the groups. But I'm also very active in my old girls associations in my secondary school, holding positions within the global body, the Lagos body.
Thank you, Bridget.
That's in a nutshell.
Thank you.
Volunteering in church, helping those missionaries who support widows, helping them up. There are other things that I do with my time. And when I'm permitted by my husband, I also travel down to just spend time with the missionaries in their world.
Thank you very much. Thank you. My producer is beginning to give me signs that we have run out of time.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that happens when you're really doing something meaningful. So I'm going to quickly ask you to just please leave us with, in 1 minute, leave us with your last comment, your word of advice or encouragement to the woman out there.
I think it will be very short. And one of the things I would say is that each individual must take time to live, must take time to learn, and must take time to love. Those are the secrets, to be honest, to living a safe life in this time. Live, learn, and love. And those are the things that that's what I would say.
Thank you.
Just to remind everybody that the storms are not just there to disrupt things. Sometimes the storms actually propel you into the possibilities that you never knew existed, or to bring out strength
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the program. We enjoyed having you on this program. You have so much to give all of us. Thank you. We'll call upon you again and again. My take today is that life is in seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Each season comes with its peculiar challenges. Your reaction or response to each season determines whether you run away from your troubles, sit down and wallow in self-pity, or take on the storm and ensure that your dreams as a person and as a family comes to fruition. Your decision in the face of a storm is a deal breaker. I hope that Bridget has encouraged us today and that you will stand up and decide to ride your storm. This is where we wrap up today's edition of Up You with Ezinne. It's been another amazing one. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Up You with Ezinne. Get copies of our books, Up You and When Adversity Strikes, Fight. Thank you. Remember, I'm going to be randomly giving out Bridget's book, Build for the Storm. So look out for it. Join us on Instagram and Facebook and look out for the book. Big up to everyone that is involved in creating this magic every week, starting from you, our dear listeners, our guests, our advertisers, callers, the engineers on duty, my producer, the amazing Up You team, the best radio station, WFM 91.7. You all stay strong, stay blessed, stay lifted. My name is Ezinne Kufure-Kanem, and I am saying bye for now. Up You.